Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about Shift.co and my review of it and what I think about the platform and my experience using it to sell my car. So, as a guy who wanted to sell his car before leaving on a world trip, I wanted a way to sell my car easily without having to meet with a bunch of different people off Craigslist and really hope and just cross my fingers that I would get a sale at the last minute. So I was looking around online for ways to sell my car online, and I found Shift. Shift is really cool because it's a car buying and selling service, and the way they provide their service is actually by taking your car in and detailing it and taking pictures of it and posting it online and marketing it for sale. And what they do is they market it, and then they'll actually drive your car to the person who wants to test drive your car and try it out. And if they like it, first of all, if they don't like it, it's no big deal. There's no pressure, like sales pressure tactics to get them to buy the car. They're just like, fine, no problem. If they do like it and they want to buy it, then they can just buy the car over the internet. And Shift basically just takes a fee, and they then transfer the title to the new owner, and they pay you out as a seller within a week or so. So it's a pretty cool process, and it was really easy to get started. I've actually used them twice now. I sold my Ford Fiesta through them, and I also sold my Ford Focus, my wife's Ford Focus, 2 years later. So the first experience was great. The guy came out. Basically, it just go on the app and you get your little get your estimate, and then the guy comes out to your apartment or house and looks at the car, does a quick walk around, make sure everything that you said is true, and then once that's done, you basically just go to you sign the paperwork. And I was kind of worried at first because I hadn't really heard of the platform yet, so it was a little bit uneasy about just giving him my keys to the car. So I asked him for his ID and just some kind of proof that he was an employee of Lyft and all that, and he was. So everything checked out, and yeah, I just signed the paperwork right there because I just wanted to sell my car. And the number one cool thing about Shift is that they actually get you more money for your car than you probably would have gotten if you try to sell it on Craigslist, because you're not dealing with a bunch of low ballers. They provide more of a service to the end consumer of driving the car out to them, so they're probably willing to pay a higher price for it, and thus you get a higher price for your car, even though they take a commission. So it's kind of cool. So they mark your car up beyond what you probably would have had to sell it at anyways, which would be like wholesale value, in order to sell it direct to another consumer. And you win because they sell the car for you. So they take the car in, they took it in for me, and they, like I said, detailed it, did all the pictures, marketed it for a while. It took a couple months, and then I got an email one day that it was sold. So that was really cool. The Ford Fiesta I had was only a few years old, so there was no damage or maintenance that needed to be done. But it was a different story on the Ford Focus because it was a little bit older, and we had been driving it around with Uber and Lyft, doing it as drivers for a while, so we had used it a lot. And when we brought it in, when they took it in to look at it, they actually found out it needed new shocks, new front struts or whatever. So they needed to replace that. Ended up sending us a bill for around $400 or $500, which I thought was pretty fair. Looking up the retail price and calling some places, I actually found out usually they charge more for it. So they're giving you a really good deal when they give you your maintenance bill. So they fixed our problems, and that was easy. And they didn't even charge us for it until they sold the car. They just took that charge, the maintenance, out of the final bill, final check that we received for the car. So that was even better. So yeah, it saved us the pain of having to fix it up before selling it, and so that was huge for us as well. So we basically just set it up for the date, like a few days before we were going to fly to Thailand from Los Angeles, and that worked out perfectly. The guy showed up, took the keys, the car, and left, and we used Uber to get around after that. So it was a really good deal. And I think it took about 3 months before that one sold, or 4 months. I think I remember it was like January. We had sold it with them in October. January we got the sale, so it was 3 or 4 months. And so when we finally got the check, it was a really big relief. I think it was for around $5,000 or $4,000 after the commission. So it was really cool, and they did a great job. So I'm really happy with their service, and couldn't recommend them more. If you're going to try to go sell your car outside of it and sell direct, you're probably going to have to deal with a lot of tire kickers and low ballers. And Shift just takes that all out of your hands, and you get a really fair price for your car, more than you probably would if you'd have to do negotiations yourself, and way more than if you took it to a dealership and tried to either trade it in or just sell it to them directly. So highly recommend their app, and I think you should go for it. I have a referral code below that actually gets you a really good bonus on when you go to sell your car, so definitely go check that out. It's my wife's referral code. So it should say like Juliana invited you to Shift.co. So check that out, guys, and I highly recommend them, and I hope that process goes well for you as well. Let me know if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, subscribe to the channel for more reviews, and we'll see you out there. Take care.